there, Axel. So, you've written us some essays. I'm very happy to see it. It's nice to see that you're working hard in order to prepare for IELTS. So let's take a look and see what you've written today. The first one is about schools, if they should be entertaining or just educational. Here's what you said. The current methods of education have been highly controversial these days due to their relevance for future generations. For this reason, it is believed that students should experience enjoyable learning instead of solely receiving bothersome instructions. In my opinion, I totally agree with this perspective, and therefore this essay will discuss arguments and examples in favor. Okay, how about in its favor, and the it would refer back to this perspective. Okay, I think that's probably a better way to do this. Okay, so firstly, it is the responsibility of not the educators, but of educators. It is the responsibility of educators to provide non-traditional tools in order to make children's apostrophe S formation more amenable. Mainly, because it is common to teach abstract concepts only by repetition and not reasoning. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm just reading it again to make sure I've understood what you're saying. I'm trying to understand the main point of this paragraph, okay? So let me just read it one more time aloud. Firstly, it is the responsibility of educators to provide non-traditional tools to make children's formation more amenable. Mainly because it is common to teach abstract... okay, I'm really confused because this isn't really a full sentence, alright? It is common to teach abstract concepts only by repetition, not reasoning. However, meaningful learning is usually achieved by using games and interactive activities. In a recently published study, for instance, it was demonstrated that implementing dynamic strategies inside the classroom was associated. It's implementing. That's your lead word here. Implementing dynamic strategies into the classroom was associated with a significant improvement in long-term retention of concepts. Therefore, supporting the introduction of educational... Okay, that's not a full sentence, Axel. Okay? Therefore, this argument or this example supports the introduction of educational entertainment. All right, that works better. Okay. Secondly, it is clear that school centers not only should be focused on education, but also in improving other basic skills. In other words, children need to develop social and physical abilities which are not taught inside the classroom, but rather in sports activities or social clubs. To illustrate this, in an American college, research, no A, conducted by the Pedagogic Institute showed that students with at least one extracurricular subject had better performance in global knowledge assessments. Okay, that doesn't really help. We're talking about schools being more entertaining rather than just educational. So, what you're saying is that they should be more entertaining in providing students extracurricular activities. I don't disagree with this necessarily, but I do have, I do kind of argue with how long it took you to get to this. Like, look at this. I didn't really understand what you were saying until here. I don't know. I have a little trouble with this, the development here. I mean, what could you have done instead? Let's see. Secondly, through extracurricular activities, schools can be both entertaining while also developing additional skills in children. Okay, and then you could have gone on to develop it. You should just, it's really important to have a topic sentence that is sort of a signpost to the examiner, or in this case the reader, to understand what the paragraph is about. Like, I had to kind of read through the whole paragraph in order to understand what your main idea was. So I want you to be a little more careful with that, okay? Alright, so, to conclude from the examples and arguments given, I strongly believe that the educational, that educational centers must include innovative techniques with the objective of making interesting classes and adding non-academic activities to their curriculum. It is predicted that education, will change in favor of more enjoyable methods. Okay, fine. So the conclusion was fine. Like I said, I had a little issue with some of your development, but on the whole, it was a good first attempt, okay? Just keep in mind some of the things that I mentioned in terms of developing your essay, and let's take a look at the next one. Okay, first of all, be careful. Make sure that your paragraphs are clearly delineated where one ends and one starts. You needed to put an enter here to make sure that it was obvious where this paragraph begins. All right, let's move on. It has been argued that this one's about activities, more skills, and creativity than reading. All right. It has been argued that children might learn more abilities and boost creativity by performing amusing activities and not focusing solely on, you focus on something, on traditional methods such as lectures, S. It's not talking about lectures. Be careful here, Axel. Because when I think of this essay, I don't even think about, like, school lectures versus, I don't know, doing enjoyable activities. I think of reading as an activity, like a free time activity, rather than, you know, something else, like the game consoles or the sports or art or something, okay? So I would not have used lecture. In my opinion, I totally agree with this concept, and therefore, this essay will discuss arguments and examples in its favor, again, I would say. Firstly, it is well known that playing video games on any game console contributes to development of, here, a variety of useful abilities. This is largely because a tremendous mind work. No, here, wait. This is largely because tremendous mental work is required to overcome any given video game challenge, consequently improving active skills. For example, a recently published study has demonstrated a clear relationship between the time invested in playing virtual video games and the development of visual motor skills. All right, visual motor skills? I'm not really sure, but okay. Therefore, there is scientific evidence supporting the benefits of this type of activities. Fine, lovely, that's nice. Secondly, not only are video games better than passive activities. This is a special kind of grammatical structure called inversion. So when you start the sentence with not only, you need to make it inverted, like as if it's a question. So, not only are video games better than passive activities, but also sports competition has shown positive results. I would have said sports competitions have. Alrighty. So, practicing physical exercise might lead to enhanced creative abilities as well as consolidating long-term memory. This fact, for instance, has been confirmed in a survey conducted by the American Association of Neuroscience, where it was concluded that corporal activities are by far superior to other non-physical actions such as reading a book in terms of neurological development. Lovely. What I wanted here is, again, a conclusive statement, like a therefore, and then kind of like a takeaway from this, okay? All right, last paragraph. To conclude, it is hard to deny the numerous benefits associated with reading and similar activities. However, from the examples and arguments given, it seems fair to say that entertaining activities are more relevant for achieving a better holistic development. I would have not used the A here. Achieving better holistic development. It is predicted that a shift in the education approach will be seen over the next years. All right, this is lovely, Axel. I actually prefer this essay to the other one. It was very cohesive. You had good arguments. I liked it. Very nice vocabulary. You were close to using some good grammar with that example of inversion, but that's easily overcome. All right. Now what you need to do is you need to correct these essays. You need to, based on the suggestions in this video. And then you need to create an error correction list where you write on the one side of the page the errors as they were pointed out to you, and next to that what the suggested correction is, okay? You will add to this list with every subsequent essay. It's just for your benefit so you can learn and kind of be aware of making the same mistakes over and over, all right? Now, I want you to send all of these back to us with your next essays. Do try to do this within the next day or so. And in this way, you can really consolidate and apply all the information, all the new skills you've been learning. So I'm here, and I'm waiting for your next essays. So I will let you get to that task. I'll let you start writing your next essays. Wishing you lots of good luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you write next.